In March of this year, I took 30 days off of social media in order to completely focus on one singular thing, building a routine that was going to help me manage my stress better and cope with more resilience throughout my life. So in this video, I am going to teach you the exact tools and techniques and system that I followed in order to build that routine so that if you want to build a routine that's going to support you a little bit better, you can do the same thing. And no, you don't have to take 30 days off social media if you don't want to. If you're new around here, I'm not just some person who's giving tips based on my life and my own personal experience. Everything that I talk about on this channel is based in science. My name is Dr. Karin Nordin, and I am an expert on the real science behind self-help. The stuff that, quite honestly, I learned in my PhD and never heard of in any of these self-help books back there. What I do on a regular basis is take in a bunch of the latest science on how a specific concept works, apply it to my own life as kind of a case study, and then I bring those tips, techniques, and evidence-based information right to you. So make sure you hit subscribe if you want to follow along. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about 3 steps you need to take to build a routine that will absolutely change your life. Tip number 1 is going to be a little bit of a call out. And that is that you need to stop watching routine videos from influencers and creators on social media. Listen, I'm as guilty about it as anyone else. I will lay there in bed at night watching videos of people's morning routines and afternoon routines and get ready for work routines. And at times it's fun to engage in that sort of content. I don't deny that. However, when you're trying to create a routine that's going to work for you and your life, copying some influencer and pasting their routine onto your life is not something that is ever going to create sustainable or empowering results. While you might think these videos are giving you inspiration, what I've seen working with one-on-one clients is that most of the time, these videos are giving us obligation. They're adding to the lists of all the things we should be doing in order to be healthy or in order to contribute to our overall wellness. And research supports the idea that the more shoulds we have and the more we ignore what's really coming from us, that is one of the things that causes us to yo-yo back and forth and be on the wagon and then off of it. So what should you be doing instead? That brings me to step number 2, which is to prioritize a scientific understanding of how behavior works. Instead of following someone's arbitrary 5-step morning routine, get a little bit curious about the science of circadian rhythms and what might actually help you feel awake. Instead of working out right before bed just because your favorite influencer does it, get curious about workout timing. I have a whole video on that I can link in the description below. Now, I could have created this video and given you a bunch of concrete tips to follow. You need to do this between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. and this between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. And you know what? That video would have absolutely sucked because even if you took away things that you could implement in your life, they wouldn't last. And as soon as your life shifted even a little bit, you wouldn't know how to adjust your plan. If you have a tendency to build a routine, follow it, and then something shifts and it all falls apart and you don't know how to adapt and how to get back into that place where you feel like your routine is working for you again, that is a sign that you need a fundamental education on change skills. Now, if you are interested in developing that education, click around. I have tons of free videos on this channel that are teaching you tips and tricks in order to think about behavior change as a set of skills and grow those skills over time. But if you're really trying to take it to the next level and you want to make sort of an overhaul in the way you operate your life, you need a new fresh start, I highly recommend you check out my Change Academy membership. It is a month-to-month membership built for people like you who are self-help enthusiasts, but who are done with overloading themselves on self-help books and want to know the actual science and actual tools that they can use to change. If you're from my email list and you're watching this, know that this month we're talking all about our entire Change Academy theme is how to build a routine that works for you. All of you have been asking me to do the science behind routines for ages, and we are finally delivering. I am so freaking excited for this workshop. I'll make sure the link to join the Academy is in the description below. That brings me to my last step of building a routine that's gonna change your life, which is to include a prototype period. Let me set the scene for you. You stop listening to all the influencers and stop trying to copy and paste someone else's life into your routine. That gives you the time and the space to kind of get curious about what feels right or what feels like it might actually work for you. From there, you learn a little bit about change skills, things like temptation bundling, cognitive diffusion, decision containers. All of these things give you ideas and inspiration about how you can change your routine in order to facilitate doing what you actually said you'll do. Then, the third step is going to be to give yourself a concrete period of time in order to test those things without obligation to follow through down the line. I'm doing this right now in my life. One of the things that I've entered into as a result of a lot of science I've read on the topic is that I am, once again, attempting to meditate. I've said that it doesn't work for me before, but to call myself out, I've never tried it for longer than 2 or 3 weeks. If I was expecting to see progress in the gym or anywhere else in 2 to 3 weeks, I would think I was crazy. So I'm giving meditation a shot, but I've given myself a concrete 1-month trial period. I'm meditating every day for 5 minutes for a period of 1 month, and then at the end of that month, I will evaluate whether I want to continue it. This is so important because so many of you get into so much mental drama because you're like, oh, I commit to this habit and then I do it for a while and I don't follow through. But you never gave yourself an actual time period. You were just like, yeah, I'm gonna pick up this habit and do it, I don't know, indefinitely, forever. Spoiler alert, life changes. That doesn't make any sense, which is why we need concrete periods of what I would call prototype time. Now, in the comments, I want to hear from you. What is one particular habit that you are struggling with right now? When you comment, I will comment back and I'll give you a couple of ideas as to how you could integrate it into your routine using some science-based principles. But before you go and comment below, I want you to go ahead and watch this other video on how to design your life. Today in this video, I gave you a very specific topic. We talked about routines specifically, but your routine should be influenced by you designing a life you truly are excited to live every single day. And that is what this other video is all about. Last thing, I want to mention that I've talked a lot about these specific changes I made to my own routine on my podcast. It's called The Work of Becoming. It's on Spotify, Apple, Google, you name it. So go and check it out if you want a little bit more insight and some more examples on how building this kind of routine could really, really change things for you.